Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are at. Welcome to Mentor Mornings, my friends, where we share wisdom from people far wiser than myself to help you own your day and fuel your journey. So, have you found yourself overwhelmed with negative news? Are you ready and willing to do something about that to keep your life at a state of happiness and joy and peace? Because that is possible. So, Marcus Aurelius says the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing, because an artful life requires being prepared to meet with sudden and unexpected attacks. He's talking about being prepared to meet with sudden and unexpected attacks. And there's a reason why I quoted Marcus when we're talking about news, unexpected attacks. Let's dive into this. So, if you appreciate this video, please hit the thumbs up button, share if you feel it's worthwhile, and subscribe if you are not already. So, what can help with dealing with negative news in the world today? Because we are constantly being inundated with it, are we not? Well, there's a difference with journalism and media. So, journalism, let me read my thing here. Journalism is the activity or profession of gathering information on current or past events, consolidating that information and disseminating that information to the public. Media, on the other hand, is a large organized force whose main purpose is to generate volume in ad revenue and numbers of people that are watching, to increase viewership. And so virtually all major media, when we look at it, whether that's music, film, entertainment, television news, did I already say music? I already said music. Or print, all virtually is owned by 6 large corporations. That's National Amusements, Disney, Time Warner, Comcast, News Corp, and Sony. They control the vast majority of news that comes in, with their main purpose being in number generation, ad revenue, and people watching. So how do these companies earn their money, you may ask? It's by keeping their largest contributors to the ad revenue, like big pharmaceutical companies. In 2018, they found that pharmaceutical companies spend more on ad revenue than they do on R&D. Boom! Boom! So think about this. If you have an advertiser whose main goal is to distribute pharmaceutical supplies, would you want to write an article condemning a pharmaceutical company for perhaps murdering thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of people? Heck no, you would not. Uh-oh. My camera's starting to get hot, guys. If you lose me, it's because it got hot. So they have to rely on bait, hook, and compel viewers to return to the show. That's their main focus, is to keep people coming back. And the unfortunate truth is that drama sells. Drama and emotions sell. So we would love to think that we as humans are logical and emotional, rational beings, but the truth is that we are moved by emotion. And so fear, drama, scarcity, adrenaline, and sex, it keeps us coming back en masse. And the media relies on a finely tuned and well-oiled machine. When we look back at videos that I've made in the past talking about mass human psychology and how we are influenced by authority figures, by group think, we are very easily influenced on like the animal level. And so while we would like to think that we are separate from that, we are influenced on a subconscious or unconscious level when we are not aware. And so just like the Pavlov experience that you and I have heard about, for years, when Pavlov rang the bell, the dogs would automatically start drooling. And it's the same thing when we rely on getting news from these mass media organizations. They have an agenda, they have a motive, while independent journalists do not. Independent journalists are not reliant on big corporate dollars to keep themselves going. And so how do we avoid the negativity in the media today? It's who do we choose to give our attention to? Who is it that we're going to give our attention to? So journalists report truth and information, while the media focuses on increasing numbers. So who will you allow to capture your attention? That comes down to the major question. And who is it that you will trust with your mind? Who is it that you will trust with your mind? So negativity inside of our life, negativity, by the way, if you guys appreciate this video, please hit that thumbs up button, help me get it in front of more eyes. So negativity in our mood and in our life is generated by an inability to accept what is. It's a resistance. Hey, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Letting the hurricane pass. That sounds interesting. All right. So negativity in our mood and life is inability to accept what is. It's resistance to what has happened, and it's clinging to a remembered past or an imagined future. That's where negativity inside of our life comes from. That's where suffering comes from. However, in daily life, we can't avoid the dark and sinister aspects of life, can we? Every moment that a child starves, a child is born. Every moment that a sea creature dies from pollution in the ocean, a caterpillar emerges from a cocoon into a butterfly. Darkness and light exist simultaneously because they have to in order to be. And we cannot avoid negativity inside of our life, but a negative mindset, a negative mood, and suffering and negative emotions, those all come from a different thing. Negativity must exist inside of a world, the negative and the positive, dark and light. But where we get our information from, who we allow to massage our mind, who we allow access to our inner being, who we allow to shape and form our opinions and our beliefs, our viewpoints, our perceptions, that is up to us. It's up to us to guard the doorway of our mind. And so I have some tips as to things that you can incorporate inside of your life to help keep the negativity out from being manipulated by mass media or people with an agenda. So the very first thing is set hours of the time of day when you allow yourself to look at information or world news. So for myself, these are things that I incorporate into my own life, guys, because they are effective and they are powerful. I look at news between the hours of 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. And there's a reason for that, and that's that how you spend your first hour largely dictates your mood throughout the rest of the day. How you spend your last few hours before bed will largely dictate what's going on inside of your mind. So if you're focused on reading, if you're reading something and it's all negative, doom and gloom, the world is ending, that's where your mind state is going to be as you close your eyes and drift off to sleep. And that's not going to equal a very productive rest. Okay, so now only get your news from independent and reliable sources of information that are independent from being swayed from big corporate money or think tanks. If we source our information, it's only clean, real information. It's not, overlaid with an agenda to keep you. I mean, everybody wants you to keep reading their news sources, but not overtly engineered. So, independent journalists, citizen journalists, that's where you can get your information from without being swayed by big corporate dollars. And then the last question is to ask yourself a very simple question, and that's how much world news do you need each day, or better yet, each week, in order to live a good, happy, and effective life? How much world news do you really have? There's somebody that I greatly respect, and he does not consume very much information throughout the day. And that helps him keep a centered, focused, happy, productive life. He gets what he needs, and that's it. He moves on. So guys, this episode today was to help you lead a happier, greater, more productive, peaceful life. If you appreciate it, please hit the thumbs up button, share if you feel it's worthwhile, subscribe if you're not already, and join the Mentor Mornings email list so I can send you something every single morning, just a little brief blip on how to live the good life, the art of living, the art of perseverance. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow on Mentor Mornings. Until then, my friends, rise unconquered. Today is your day to live at your best. Make it count, my friends. We'll see you.